You know, I always think about this question. Is online teaching a forever thing? Will I always be teaching English online? Is the online teaching industry something that's going to be around in 5, 10, 15, or 20 years? In this video, I want to dig into some of these questions and offer some ideas, maybe some insights, but most importantly, just to create some conversation about this topic. Welcome to this video. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. My name is Tim and I help online teachers to start their online teaching businesses. So, I started this online teaching thing with a company called VIP Kid. It was about 5 years ago that I got involved. And if you had asked me back then, or told me, Tim, you're going to be teaching online in 5 years, you're going to be, having your own ESL teaching business and helping other online teachers to do that, I wouldn't have believed you. At that time when I got in, it was a filler job. It was something that I wanted to do to create some money during my year off from my brick and mortar teaching position in international schools. I had full intention of one day going back. I didn't really want to, but I didn't think that this was going to be a long-term thing. 5 years later, it looks a little bit different. I'm still doing it, but it looks a little different. And I kind of sit back sometimes and wonder, what is it going to look like in 5 more years? Am I still going to be doing this? Will you still be doing this? What's it going to look like in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? It's interesting to think about, isn't it? Because it is a great opportunity and it allows you to work from home. It allows you to make some pretty good money. And it's fun for the most part, as long as you're not bored of it or feeling burnt out and you're giving yourself some balance between teaching and the things that you like to do, it can be a really great gig. But is it sustainable? Do you want to be doing this in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, right? Those are questions that you might ask yourself as well, and I have been too. Well, first of all, I really think it's hard to say that anything is forever. Look back on your previous jobs. You're probably not doing the same thing you were 20 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. I heard somewhere that the average person changes 7 different careers throughout their lifetime. And so it's hard for me to say, I'll be doing this forever. I probably don't want to do anything forever. It's good for right now, but I think about, what it could look like in the future. And now that I've gained some skills online and I have a business where I also support other online teachers, I can see me doing this for quite a while, but I can also see it sort of changing, right? I can see the landscape changing. I mean, we can only look at the last 2 years and see how much things have changed. Look at the implosion of what happened in 2021 with the Chinese companies. When I was teaching for VIP Kid, towards the end of that, before I knew what was going on, I really did think, could I be doing this forever? It's too good to be true. I'm making this much money. I'm having so much fun. I don't have to go to work every day. Can I do this forever? When is it going to end? Well, it ended, we all know about that. And so, I can certainly say that I truly believe that it's going to change, in the years to come. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I think it's going to change a lot. And I think that if we're adaptable, we are, willing to learn new things, willing to change with the way technology and online learning changes, then I think you have a long-term game in this thing. But if you are only willing to work for a company, I don't think you're going to be doing that forever. I don't think that companies teaching ESL online is a sustainable business model for yourself. I think that there are a few things you need to have in place if you want to do this long term. And I say the word long term with, not knowing what that means, not even for myself, let alone for you. Long term could be the next year, could be 5 years, could be 10 years, whatever it is. One thing I know for me is that I don't plan to go back to the classroom, certainly anytime soon, if at all. I don't really want to work for someone else at all. I've had a really good taste of what it is like to work for myself, to make my own money, to create things that I've created and sell them, to offer my own services to my students, to other teachers, and get paid for that, and to run my own schedule. I really don't want that to change. I think it's incredible, and it allows me to live the life that I want to, which is traveling and working abroad and doing all those things. So for me, I don't want to go back. And so for me, I believe that there's some things that need to be in place, and this might be applied to you as well. So if you're wanting to just teach students online, then I think it's really important that you move in the direction of having your own business. And that could be, teaching your own students or something else. But I think you need to have your own thing. That's the sustainable model. You need to also have a plan or a funnel to bring in new leads, clients, students, whatever you want to call them. Because if you are only relying on your existing students or referrals and things like that, then, I don't know how long you can do what you're doing. I think it's important to have a plan for attracting new students and what you're going to do when students stop their classes and things like that. I've talked about this in previous videos, and I think it's really important to think about those things, especially as many of us are fairly new, being in the last 4 or 5 years to teaching independently. And so you might be able to sort of coast right now and do quite well, but in 5 years, are you going to have the same students? What are you doing now to prepare for that? And to do that, you need to build a brand online. You need to be, doing something on social media or creating some kind of a brand online where you're attracting these new clients and students. And what that will allow you to do is to diversify your offerings. And what has, happened for me over the last few years is creating a website, creating a YouTube channel, making videos like this, building an email list where I can do email marketing, building an online presence on social media. It's allowed me to diversify my income, to not just rely on $1,000 to $1,500 a month from my classes, but to create and sell products, services, and courses that supplement that and certainly can help me to make more than what I do from my actual classes. So what is that for you? What do you want to do? What do you envision for yourself for the future? What sort of offerings do you want to have in a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, where you can build more wealth, build more income for yourself, and not just rely on one-to-one classes where you're just trading time for money? So I think it's important to have those 3 things. I think you need to have your own business. You need to be doing your own thing eventually. If you're working for a company, you need to have an end date for that eventually. I know that for many, it could be your bread and butter right now, and so you don't want to give that up, and I totally understand that. But start to think about how you can scale that by maybe working less and getting some students privately, and then sort of slowly phasing out that company. I hung on to VIP Kid for a while, even when everything was closing down, because they were my bread and butter. But as I moved into independent teaching, I stopped working for $20 an hour and started working for $45 and $50 an hour for myself. And so, I want that for you as well. So start thinking about how you can do this as your own business. And also think about how you can, get new students in. Have a funnel online with social media where you're attracting new students, whether you're using Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Xiaohongshu for the Chinese market, whatever it is. Start to build your brand online so that you can diversify your offerings, because I think the model of just teaching one-on-one classes forever is going to get exhausting. It's going to, be a little bit boring, I think, down the road, unless you're changing things up. So change things up and bring variety into what you're doing, because with the internet, so much is possible. Personally, I don't think online teaching is going anywhere anytime soon, but I think that what it's going to look like is going to maybe change a little bit. I mean, just think about the last 10 years. I had my first online student 10 years ago, and it certainly looks a lot different now. The basics are the same. We used a laptop, we used a video conferencing app, I shared screen, and I talked and taught the student over that. But now it looks so differently. I can make more. There's more up-to-date learning platforms and online classrooms and better curriculum and all these things, which is just something that you have to adapt to and learn about, and be having a growth mindset so that you can change as things change with those changes. So be open to learn new things and to adapt as things change. If you're, for example, just using Zoom to teach, that's great, but there's better things out there. And so are you willing to change and go with some of those, more updated ways of providing online classes so that your students have a better experience and that you become a more competitive teacher when someone is looking for someone to teach them online? So as I said, I don't think it's going anywhere, and for right now, it's great for me. I'm still enjoying it, and I love what I do for teachers as well. And so I'm going to just keep on keeping on, as they say, with what I'm doing. I hope you do the same, but I just wanted to open up this conversation to think about, is online teaching forever? Will I be doing this forever? My answer is no, because maybe I'll be working from home forever, or I'll always be my own boss, but I'm open and willing to change and adapt and pivot and learn new things and change as the industry changes. And so that might look differently, in my business. It certainly has changed multiple times in the last 5 years. Even though what I'm doing is very similar, I'm doing things differently. I'm not working for a company. I'm not working for a marketplace. I'm doing it on my own. I don't recruit much at all for companies anymore, but I have created courses and digital products. And those things are difficult to do in the beginning. I had to learn a lot of new things, but I'm so grateful that I was willing to take risks and step out of my comfort zone. So I think that's what it comes down to. Are you willing to step out of your comfort zone? Are you willing to learn and adapt and change with this online learning environment and what's available to you? So that's it. More than anything, this is a conversation starter. I want to know in the comments what you think about this. Do you see yourself doing this forever? What is it? Is it an interim thing before you move into something else? Do you have another career in mind? When I think about another career for me, I don't really know what else I would do besides teach. I've learned a lot of online marketing skills, and I've learned a lot of things about an online business, but I think I'm going to use those skills to maybe do something else in the future. But I don't worry about that because right now I'm enjoying it. I hope you are too, and I hope you let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this. Do you see yourself doing this forever? What is forever? If not, how do you think you're going to change? What else is out there for you? What are you going to be doing in a year, 5 years? Let me know in the comments. I'd be so interested to hear. Anyway, thanks for listening to me sort of share a little bit, create a bit of a discussion maybe, and to get you thinking about the long-term game for online teaching. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. It's the best thing you can do, and it's free for this channel to help more people watch these videos and to be inspired to get into the world of online teaching. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.